welcome everyone to another fantastic episode of Sega Sonic Radio. I am your host, as always, GX, and it's hot out! It's hot out! It's been hot all week. It's been very hot. It's been hot for several weeks, I would say. And then suddenly a cold front hits us, and then it storms immensely. Because the Northeast isn't designed to be this hot all of the time. Hey! Yeah, it's been hot, and our theme is hot, hot, hot. I asked you to give me some hot tunes, and you obliged. So we've got about 2-ish hours of great hot music tonight, something like that. But before we do any of that, we need to have a Spinbox. I think we're gonna have two, probably. Starting with Knuckles87, who threw a last-minute one in. If you could add any track location across worlds, what would it be? I kind of answered this one before. It'd be Kamurocho. I want. The funny thing is, until we get like the Godzilla track, we haven't really had like a real city track. Yeah, we've had we've had what's it the I don't know, it's the Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow Stage with the hey, it's San Francisco but at night. But that's not really the city part of the city. That's just a bunch of highways. That's just a bunch of highways. Like, we need a proper city-ass city track. And Kamurocho would give us that. But also, it'd be very entertaining, too. I believe my previous response to that was, I want the stage hazards to be street punks, and I want you to be able to hit them and they just fly out of the way. I think that'd be a good use of everyone's development resources. It's the correct path. But we also have one from Glimmer, who asks, which desert-themed music is your favorite from any franchise? From any franchise, you say. I'm gonna go ahead and say this one. Enjoy! Hey, and welcome back. That was Bibarudo Kingdom from Super Mario Land, followed up by Hot Pursuit from SEGA Sonic the Hedgehog Arcade, requested by The Karma Collector 1994, followed up by Volcano Valley Zone Act 2 from Sonic 3D Blast, requested by Ray of Hope. Wrapping it up with Adder's Lair Medley from Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, requested by Knuckles87, who says that the stage needs to be in Crossworlds, which, it's not my favorite one in those, but it's fine. We got a couple more Spinbox had a lot of stuff in it. Spinbox had a lot in it. You're gonna have to deal with it. We're just gonna have to deal with it. There was a lot. Froggy DX asks, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream / lolly popsicle, if that's how Americans call it? Yeah, popsicle is one of those things where it's like, obviously popsicle is pop as in the style of candy, and sickle being icicle, creating a little portmanteau there. But I believe it's also one of those scenarios where, like, popsicle is a brand name that just became the classification of a whole category of treat. Like, popsicle is an actual brand that we now just call anything that would be of that qualification, like a popsicle. So, if I'm going for ice cream, we have a semi-local creamery in the state, and they make one that I really like that is very graham cracker flavored. It has like graham cracker and honey candy in it, and it's just absolutely wonderful. But if I'm specifically going for like for something that you get served on a stick, I'm always a big fan of like sometimes just called like an orange creamsicle or a dreamsicle, just like an orange flavored pop with vanilla cream center, or ooh, I really love a good strawberry shortcake bar. Strawberry shortcake bars are fantastic. I adore them. Funny enough, I can eat chocolate ice cream. I don't actually love chocolate ice cream that much. I think in my mind, it just doesn't taste enough like what I expect chocolate to taste like, so yeah. But yes, thank you for the question. We also have one from Kiona the Hedgehog, who asks, what's the hottest location you've ever been to when you've been on vacation with your friends and family? I've been to Arizona. I got to see the Grand Canyon before. That's probably the hottest place I have been. The difference, though, is it's a dry heat. So I live in the northeast U.S., and the thing about the northeast U.S. is that whenever things get hot here, because there are plenty of lakes and, you know, the general vicinity to the ocean, you get like a humid heat, an oppressively humid heat when it gets up high enough. But over in Arizona, like, yeah, it's sunny, it's hot, but you don't feel the weight of that heat in the same way, because it's not really a, you know, you're not feeling the humidity with it. It's a slightly lighter heat. We got a quick one from Dodo, who decided to send something in at the very last moment, who asks, who is the hottest Sonic baddie, and why is it Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik? My vote is going to be for this one. You see, the Ifrit is no child. And he's extremely hot. Surprise music. Let's start that one from the beginning. So yeah, my answer is the Ifrit. The hottest. And then let's go into request. Here's some Sonic Adventure. welcome back. That was Bad Taste Aquarium from Sonic Adventure, requested by MFA, followed up by Sand Road Crossworld Remix from Sonic Racing Crossworlds, requested by Froggy DX, wrapping it up with Mount Lava Lava, Part 1, from Mario Land Shake It. Look, we got some Nintendo music tonight. We've got about 5 Nintendo tracks. That's not gonna be a problem. That's not me asking a question, that's just me telling you explicitly, no, this will not be a problem. Much in the same way that our next quiz will not be. Hey, it's time for the Quiz Zone. Every week, I give you guys some sort of a trivia question to test your Sonic knowledge. As always, you are welcome to guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, you certainly do not have to. You can always hide chat, and we'll let you know the answer after a song. We've got some Sonic 06 trivia for you tonight. Your quiz zone is, what character in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 defeats Mephiles Phase 1? Which character defeats Mephiles Phase 1? While you get your guess in, here's some Mephiles. Enjoy. Catch you guys on the other side. Hey, welcome back. That was Mephiles from Sonic 06. Your quiz zone, once again, is which character in Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 defeats Mephiles Phase 1? And we've actually got some people who got there. A lot of guesses for Shadow, some guesses for Shadow / Omega. And if you said, at some point, Omega, then you would be correct. Not very often do you get to tackle a boss as one of the side characters, but this is one of the scenarios where you do. The fight begins as Shadow, and then shifts characters, which, of course, happens after a loading screen, because it's Sonic 06. And then you actually defeat Mephiles, the first big boss encounter with Mephiles as Omega. It has a whole plot point where it's like Rouge does the time loop robot thing of, like, I don't know, deactivate until you're needed, and then he reactivates in the far future or something. So yeah, it is indeed Omega. Hope you enjoyed. We've got a Jack Ask later in the show as we do a music fight in about 2 more music segments. Until then, let's jump back into some requests. We've got 2 requests coming at you, starting off with some Pulse Man. Hope you enjoy. And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Just a smidge. Hey, welcome back. That was CL Architecture from Pulseman, requested by Dodo, followed up by Lava Shelter from Shadow the Hedgehog, requested by Hasbomi, wrapping it up with Hot Crater Act 1 from Sonic Advance 2. Got a few more spin boxes coming at you. This one from Cortex Games. Cortex, trying to get me killed over here. Who do you think does better Sonic comics? Archie, IDW, or Fleetway? Jesus, what a question. So, I have a problem with the nature of this question. And the nature of this question is built on the fact that I'm 40 years old, and I started reading Archie when I was like 8. So I have something akin to, I don't know if I'd say a bias, but I would definitely say one of these was a continuous part of my entire childhood. And one of them is good, but I don't... Okay. I like Archie a lot. Archie was a darn good series that had some really high highs and some incredibly bizarre lows. Like, it has some weird quality swings throughout the series. Just dramatic. I think IDW starts a little bit more even and stays kind of even. Like, it doesn't have the high highs, but it also doesn't have the low lows. And it doesn't have the same degree of creepiness that Archie could sometimes delve into. Like, there's a degree to which we'll say the Sega management of IDW has kind of kept some of the weirdest BS that happened in Archie from ever happening to another major portion of the Sonic series again. I have no idea what to make of Fleetway. I've tried multiple times to read Fleetway. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think Fleetway looks ugly. I think Fleetway as a comic series looks very ugly. I think its stories are bizarre. In some ways, I find them a little bit more bizarre than the Archie stuff. And the Archie stuff is like... Knuckles kind of points out, like, yeah, like, you basically kind of have to ignore... like, a full 2 years of Archie before you start getting into what it might be. What it's actually starts to intend to be, we'll say. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if you wanted to start reading Sonic comics today, I would recommend IDW profusely. The problem is, I will never have the same relationship to IDW than I ever will with, than I ever did comparable to Archie. It's just not like, I just do not have the built-in relationship there. So, I don't know. Interpret that however you will. I don't think I could say something comfortably definitive. We also got one from Sonic Trainer who asks a little bit more of an answerable question here. If we revisited Blaze's world in a future Sonic game / comic / TV series, what would you like to see or learn about? I want to see how her world functions. Like, our only real experience with her world is like, I don't know, there's some islands. Go to islands. Go to islands and do island things. You know Australia? There's like an Australia, and then there's a bunch of tiny islands around there. And I kind of wonder, like, okay, what is the structure of their society? What is... Blaze is supposedly a princess. Is she a princess of that island? Is she a princess of the whole world? Is the world fully covered with, Is the world fully covered with water? Like, is it a One Piece scenario where it's just like, I don't know, there's just a bunch of islands everywhere, and that's kind of the nature of that world? Or is it like, are there multiple islands with multiple princesses? Does Blaze go out and, like, play golf and tennis and go-karts with the other various princesses of that world? Is that something that they do? These are important questions that we need to know. We need to know what her world is. How big is her country that she's a princess of? Like, it doesn't look that big of an island from afar, but, like, do the other islands have a society? I don't know. I want to know. Give me some world building. Thank you for the question. We've got some requests coming at you, and kicking it off with one from Sonic Runners. I love good Sonic Runners track. Enjoy! Catch you guys in a bit. Hi, welcome back. I don't know why my overlay decided it could not show the info for that, but hey, starting it off with Fiery Passion from Sonic Runners, requested by Splatoon Taters, followed up by Flamecore Volcano from Sonic 06, requested by Sonic Infinity, wrapping it up with Kokobunji Hot Sand Factory from 7th Dragon 2020. I don't know why it had an issue with that track, but it seemed to have an issue with that track. Anyhow, I think it's about time. We do not have an In the Loop this week. In the Loop will return next week. So we're skipping straight to this. That's right, it's time for a music fight. Every week, we pitch 2 songs in a popularity contest, and you decide which gets played. 2 weeks ago, the contestants were Cross the World's karaoke version from Sonic Racing Cross Worlds up against 4-Man Bobsleigh from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, Sochi 2020 for 2014. You voted all week, and your victor with 75% is this. Hey, once again, that was Cross the World's karaoke version from Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, your winner this week with 75% of the vote. If you want to take a preview of next week's contestants, next week's music fight is Phantasy Star Online from Sonic Pinball Party and Flying Battery Zone Act 2 from Sonic Mania. If you want to get those votes in now, you can do so with the link posted into chat. Otherwise, you know, you can wait till the request thread goes up, and you can get your vote in then. Angel? Let's go ahead back to a couple requests. We've got 2 coming up in this one, including one starting off with some Sonic & Knuckles. Enjoy! Catch you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. Pardon. That was... Hey, pardon? OBS is being a butt again. I'm hoping you guys can actually hear me. Okay. It seems we're back now. Okay. Cool. That was Lava Reef Zone Act 1 from Sonic and Knuckles, requested by Castel Neath. Followed up by How It Started from Sonic and Secret Rings, requested by Sonic Trainer. Wrapping it up with Fireman Stage from Smash Brothers Ultimate. Hope you enjoyed. We got a couple more spin boxes for you. Let's go ahead and bring one up. This one's from the Karma Collector, who asks, given that Sonic is afraid of water / can't swim, how do you think Sonic and his friends would be able to stay hydrated during heat waves? The normal way, I guess, drink a lot of water and other fluids, making sure that you stay well hydrated the internal way. But also, like, not being able to swim hasn't really stopped Sonic too much from, like, going into water. I think the only narrative that is really set forth that, like, Sonic will not want to go in water in a meaningful way is, like, I think Sonic X. Like, Sonic can't, for, like, you think back to classic Sonic where it's just like, oh, he has whole stages where he just has to navigate underwater, and then Sonic X is like, dude can't go inside of a pool. He will die if he attempts to or falls in by accident in a pool of water. Like, he's just absolutely screwed. So, I don't know. I assume the normal way by being around water. Like, there's at least one IDW comic where they all have, like, a beach day. Sonic has, in the Olympics, like, different ways that they approach how he can participate in the swimming events. And most of the time, their answer is, I don't know, put a flotation jacket on him. Look, we have a swimmer who is so non-buoyant that he will fully sink. Just give him a jacket. This isn't the real Olympics anyway. These are all, this is like, I don't know, we got some frickin' enhanced games BS going on here. There's a plumber from another world. There's multiple dinosaurs. There's a crocodile that is anthropomorphic and sentient and is built like a Dorito. Like, just give them fake medals, and so they will hopefully go away eventually. I'm assuming that they're fine going in the water, or around the water, or just, like, you know, drinking water, or enjoying sprinklers, or, in Sonic's case, I don't know, he could just run somewhere else that's of temperate climate if he needed to, I suppose. Like, Sonic's, like, the one character where it's just like, I don't know, if I don't want to be here, like, I can just leave. I can be, like, 200 miles away very quickly. Thank you for the question. Ray of Hope goes even deeper into lore. I have a question about the functionality of the fire shield. I understand the electric shield, I understand the water shield, but for the fire shield, how does a sphere of flames around you protect you against heat? Doesn't it make it even warmer? I figure an expert like you could enlighten me. Thanks. So, I would start by saying I don't understand the bubble shield. So if you truly believe that the bubble shield is a shield that would allow him to preserve a sphere of oxygen, then the immediate problem that you would run into is that Sonic would very rapidly turn most of that oxygen into carbon dioxide and then just suffocate. Like even the bubble shield has some problems to it. Fire shield, like people are saying in chat, like it absorbs the fire, and does one not fight fire with fire? Which, yeah, I would assume it's a shield, and the shield is maybe not made of fire both inside and outside, but more likely, like, hey, there's probably some form of, there's probably some form of barrier, and the fire part is just on the outside, or something like that. I don't know. How does Mario not burn himself with the fireballs that he can throw, I guess? It changes Sonic's shoes is what it does. It makes his shoes fireproof. Like Mario. Everything's like Mario if you think about it hard enough. Including this song. This next request is very much like Mario. I hope you enjoy, and I will catch you guys on the other side. welcome back. That was Dozing Sand's Secret from Mario & Luigi Dream Team, as requested by Glimmer, followed up by Chow Park from Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, as requested by Sparkman, wrapping it up with the main theme of Monster World 4. It's a decent game. It's a decent game, it is. With a decent soundtrack. You know what else is just decent enough? Our Jack Ask for the week. We here at SEGASonic Radio are, fans of the You Don't Know Jack and its style of questions. So we put together a Jack-esque question for you with our pivotal series, Jack. This week's Jack Ask is El Viaje Misterioso de Nuestro Sonic. And your question is, you want to run fast at 200,000 Scoville heat units. I promise you, GX's old family chili dog recipe will get you running. The secret ingredient is A, jalapeno peppers, B, habanero chili peppers, C, Tabasco peppers, or D, cayenne peppers. Which of these peppers best matches? While you ponder this question, take a listen to this, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey, and welcome back. That was Chaos Island Torina remix from Sonic X Shadow Generations. Once again, your Jack Ask is, you want to run fast at 200,000 Scoville heat units. I promise you, GX's old family chili dog recipe will get you running. The secret ingredient is jalapeno peppers, habanero chili peppers, Tabasco peppers, or cayenne peppers. I think Knuckles is the most invested in the correct answer here. It is indeed habanero chili peppers. Habanero chili peppers are extremely hot peppers whose spiciness rates between 100,000 and 350 Scoville 50,000 Scoville heat units, more than double the heat of Tabasco or cayenne peppers. We're talking the hot stuff here. I'm sorry, Escape. Your pepper knowledge has betrayed you. These are very the habaneros are quite indeed hot. Hotter than the other choices. I've wanted to make it so that there was no ambiguity which one of those was going to be hot based on the Scoville units. And I chose one that was more than double everything else. Anyhow, I think it's about time for some more requests. We got 2 more requests in the upcoming segment, and we're going to kick it off with some Donkey Kong. It may be hot out, but we all desire a bit of a tropical freeze. Enjoy! I'll catch you guys in a bit. And welcome back. Those are some songs. And specifically, it was Torch and Torch from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, requested by Mio. Followed up by Red Hot Skull from Sonic Adventure, requested by both SSJ22 Terrace and Keanu the Hedgehog. Wrapping it up with Theme of Ryu, Street Fighter 4 arrangement from Project Cross Zone 2 Brave New World. Hope you enjoyed. We got 2 final spin boxes for you. First one comes from Castelneath, who asks, you only have 7 seconds to think and answer, though. If given the choice, would you rather Sonic Adventure 3 or Sonic Mania 2? I don't think either of these games should exist, but I will always support the further continuation of 2D Sonic, and I'm going to choose Sonic Mania 2. I don't think there should be a Sonic Adventure 3. I don't think Sega of today can make a Sonic Adventure 3 in a way that's going to make anybody happy, like, legitimately. I think if they try it, it'll be a good marketing thing, but I don't think they're really capable of making the Sonic Adventure 3 that people want them to. And I don't think people even really have a good sense of what they want a Sonic Adventure 3 to be. And, yeah, I think that's all a bad idea. Sonic Mania 2, I don't even think they could make, like, a true Sonic Mania 2 without, like, it's the Sonic Mania 2 problem is, like, I don't think they could get the band back together to make another. I think it would be difficult. I think you'd kind of have to create almost a different team to try to make a Sonic Mania 2 than you did for the first game. And I'm not sure who you go for that in, like, 2026, 2027. So, yeah, like, I don't know if I like either idea of this, but Sonic Mania 2 sounds less concerning, we'll say. Well, yeah, Knuckles, the original team did, but things have happened since that original team did that. Like, that original pitch was years ago. Like, I don't think it's quite the same anymore, especially after, we'll say Sonic Origins. Sonic Origins might have changed relationships a little bit. I don't know. I don't think anybody's holding a permanent grudge, but it certainly adds friction, we'll say. Sonic Infinity asks, which mobile game do you think is better, Sonic Dash or Sonic Dash 2 Sonic Boom? Oh, boy. Well, I'm glad I don't have a time limit for that one. Not that I respected it, but... a lot of what Sonic Dash has become... These two games have sort of... Sonic Dash 2 launched into what it was, and then kind of just stayed there for the most part. And then Sonic Infinity... Or, wait, Sonic Dash has become several different things at this point. Sonic Dash has functionally been, like, one set of gameplay that has had, like, 4 different styles of progression. You know what? I'm just gonna say Sonic Dash 2. I'm just gonna say Sonic Dash 2. Because Sonic Dash 2 kind of knows what it wants to be, and it has the mechanic where you can swap out different characters mid-thing. And I think it has a better music. I think it has better music in it. Even though it's mostly the same song over and over. I don't know. Like, Sonic Dash has been around too long and has really mobiled itself to hell in a way that I don't much care for. The only edge Sonic Dash really has is that it has more characters and skins, which if you are Knuckles here in chat, matters quite a bit. And if you're me, it's like, okay, these characters are basically the same. Sonic Dash at least has different abilities for each character, which matters to someone like me, who wants to, you know, have gameplay differences. So I'm gonna say Sonic Dash 2. With that, we have our final 2 requests for the evening. And we're gonna kick it off with Sonic Lost Worlds. Enjoy! See you on the other side. Hey, welcome back. That was Desert Ruins Zone 4 from Sonic Lost Worlds, requested by Clara the Cat, followed up by Lost Valley from Sonic Forces, requested by Cortex Games, wrapping it up with Hidden Volcano from Team Sonic Racing. Oh, we're approaching the end of the night, people. It is late. You have been properly welcomed to the weekend. As always, hey, my opinions are my own, but the show broadly is under the banner of Sonic Stadium over at sonicstadium.org, one of the internet's longest-running Sonic fan communities. You can head over, catch up on the latest Sonic news, talk with other great Sonic fans on our forums or on our Discord, including myself. You can get photos of my big Build-A-Bear wall of the My Little Pony cast. I have a lot of them, and people are very surprised by that. So, you want. Or just chat and have a good time with people. It's all good. It's a fun time. Go do it. I said go do it. As always, hey, if you like the show tonight, you can always do the normal stuff, like your likes, your shares, your subscribes. But also, if you think you know someone in your life that would also enjoy this, word of mouth is always the best. We always love a good word of mouth recommendation to others. Build a little audience that way. But with that, oh, right, and Wednesday, if you had not caught it, we just did a Sonic Talk podcast over on our Twitch stream. The VOD should still be up on that. The VOD will be going up on the Sonic Stadium YouTube shortly. Probably not tonight shortly, but in the near future shortly. And Wednesday, as long as schedules are lined up properly, we should have our second ever episode of SEGASonic, in which Knuckles, over on staff, assigns me a Sega game that I may not have played, or have played very little of, to experience for the first time. Our previous episode was, what's it called? Die Hard Arcade for Sega Saturn, and our next one will be a Donald Duck game for the Master System or Game Gear. Lucky Dime Caper, I think it is called. Should be fun. Good time with the Donald Duck from the Sega games. So tune in on Wednesday, probably, as long as Knuckles is still fine with it. We're gonna close off tonight with some Sonic Generations. Here's some Crisis City to leave on. Peace, y'all, and welcome to the weekend. okay. But, you know, sometimes I come up with the name of an episode or concept specifically based on a song, lyrics or title or whatever. And this is one of those times. So I don't think I could leave the episode without playing this one. Here's your weekend vibe. Peace, y'all.